Hi everyone, this is Weasel D from Grim Press, and today I've got another preview for you. It's a brand new product called Druid Wild Shape Reference, and I'm really proud of this. It's something I made myself, and I wanted to share it with you. If you have any issues, you can contact us on our Discord server, or you can stop by our website and take a look at some of the other products that are available to you. If you've ever tried to run a druid in a campaign in Fantasy Grounds, you know what a pain in the butt it can be. Although it puts on the wild shape information here in your abilities, there's really no mechanical way for you to handle this. Most DMs will handle this by additional NPC sheets or additional PC sheets to keep track of the forms and the things that you're trying to do. But there's no mechanical way in Fantasy Grounds to do that. What we've done here is most DMs will turn to an extension in order to help solve that problem. And in this case, the go-to extension is going to be Polymorphism. I cannot tell you what great things there are about polymorphism. It makes it so easy, whether you're doing polymorph, whether you're doing wild shape. It just makes the mechanics of shapeshifting easy to accomplish. On top of that, the second extension supplement you're going to want is going to be 5e automatic effects. What this does is this will automatically put abilities onto the player sheet as you need them. You can see in this case, I've made myself a sample druid. He has no abilities, he has nothing at all. With these two extensions, what will happen is you can find yourself very easily. All you have to do is take a character, in this case one that has the appropriate abilities, and you add them to the combat tracker. And the moment you do that, all of your abilities just show up on your character sheet. It can't be any simpler than that. Now, as a druid, one of the issues now is you've got polymorphism. You want to turn into something. As much as I like this extension, one of the things that I found was that there was still a little bit of a burden. You still had to go track down the NPCs. You had to go across multiple books or multiple supplements. You had to find whether or not they were beasts. You weren't sure what CR they were. You found yourself kind of flipping, flopping here, going back and forth, taking a look at the wild sheet. Am I allowed to have it? What level am I? So I decided to put this module together to scratch my own itch. And what it does is it puts all of your reference information that you need right at your fingertips in a single story entrance. It goes through, it gives you a refresher and tells you what you've got available to you for your wild shape, how you use wild shape and all the abilities. But here's where it makes things really, really easy for you. What you've got is a bunch of NPCs. Now, these are better than the NPCs that you get that come with the player's handbook. You want to turn into a bat? Look at this. You're going to get a token with a letter B on it. How much fun is it as a druid to turn into the letter B? You want to turn into something that looks like the animal you're going to turn into. So what we've done here is we've created a bunch of NPCs that all have a bunch of tokens on them, and then they're sorted and listed by CR. But that's not where the magic is. The magic is that when all these things are referenced together under a single sheet, all you have to do is open up your character sheet and your polymorphism, and then you can go through and take each one of these abilities and simply drag them over to your sheet. As you drag each item on top of your sheet, it immediately becomes available for the druid to shapeshift in. So in a brand new druid, you know, they're going to see the common things. They're all seeing a baboon and a badger and a cat. So go ahead and throw those on there for your druid. You know, maybe they never saw a giant fire beetle or a cranium rat, so you're not going to include them. Now in this example, I've gone ahead and I've done a wild Circle of the Moon druid, which means that at the first level that they can start shapeshifting, they still have the ability to go up to CR1 information because they're a Circle of the Moon. So we've got all the breakdowns here. This tells you your limitations. So not only do you have the limitations broken down on a single reference sheet, you can see them in the appendix. You've got all the breakdowns of every single NPC that you can swap into. You've got all of your available wild shapes broken down by CR. Just it's sliced and diced in lots of different ways to get you what you need to get to quickly. So let's go ahead and go back to our druid that we're testing with here, and we're going to put a dire wolf on here. Now, another benefit of using polymorphism is that the author has made sure to add limitations, so you can't put things on there that the character is not entitled to. So even though I've broken it down for you by all the different CRs, let's decide, oh, we weren't really paying attention. Let's go try to put ourselves a killer whale on that. And what you'll see down here is that there's limitations. The system knows that at the level druid I am right now, not only can I not do a CR3 creature, but I can't do a CR creature that's able to have swimming of its movement. Okay, so it took me longer than a minute to explain to you how easy it was, so I kind of shot myself in the foot there, but you can see how simple it was just to simply add all the different creatures onto the polymorphism sheet. Once they're here, the player now has full access to them. So if the player isn't sure what the badger does, they can simply double click on the badger and it brings up the character sheet for the badger and gives them all that information. So let's go ahead and show you. That's how quick it was to get it on there. We got ourselves a map, we've got ourselves a skeleton, we've got ourselves a druid who wants to turn into a dire wolf. We take our druid, we put him on the map, and we activate the polymorph spell. Boom, not polymorph, wild shape. Now we got ourselves a dire wolf. We can turn that back off again. We can turn into another shape. We can swip and swap no matter what we need to do. The ease at which I was able to get all those different NPCs onto the character sheet is phenomenal, you know. And here's the thing: sometimes as a player, you know, maybe this gets out of line, and let's say you accidentally clear your list. You go, oh man, I gotta start over again. I gotta go track all those things down again. You know, just bring up your reference sheet, bring up your available wild shapes, bring up the either the sections by the CR here, or bring up the limitations where it tells you by the individual levels that you want, and it will tell you which ones you can do at various levels. You can just start taking those items and dragging them right back to your character sheet. They're all in one spot. They're easy to get access to, and the sooner you have access to them, the sooner you and your players can start using them. If you have any questions, let us know below in the comments. Have a great night. Hey, one more thing before I head out of here. You may have noticed that today's video I was not using the brown theme, which I usually use for simplicity, but instead I was using a dark theme. I got to give a shout out to Sir Mott and his magnificent darkness. The amount of work he's put into this theme that he's given back to the community is just phenomenal. I use it in all my campaigns, and a lot of their DMs I know run it as well. So I actually chose today to use that theme to kind of show that for you and highlight it a little bit. But you know, I'm sure he would love you to stop by over the Fantasy Grounds forum and pick up a copy of that theme for yourself.